Hey everyone! Welcome to Pick It Up Podcast, where we explore the theme on how performative and fine arts can prevent gun violence. I'm Mia, your host for the week.
I'm Jeremy, your co host for the week.
And I'm Mary, your other co host.
Last week we discussed the impact of art on observers, instrumental programs that may have an impact on our personal lives, and Sandy Hook Promise and Back to School video on school shootings.
This week we're going to be talking about the history of art in Portland, its evolution, and a background of selected murals in the city.
Portland, Oregon's largest populous city, sits on the Columbia and Willamette Rivers, offering a majestic display of snow-capped Mount Hood in the distance. The city is often characterized by its local slogan, Keep Portland Weird, and is renowned for its parks, bridges, and a network of bicycle paths, as well as a diverse range of eateries, microbreweries, and coffee houses. Although this historic city is home to only one prominent art museum, its art history is notable. This region was occupied by natives of the Upper Chinook, the Cascades, Clackamas, Wasco, Cowlitz, Cathlamet, Tualatin, Molalla, and Kalapuya and Multnomah peoples, whose population decreased due to the contact with invading Europeans, who were the main contributors of smallpox and malaria and carriers of hosts of diseases. The Indian Removal Act of 1830 and the Oregon Donation Land Act of 1850 forcibly and completely removed these tribes, resulting in the claim of 2.5 million acres of free land to white invaders. William Overton and Asa Lovejoy made a claim to the city in 1843, and the name Portland was chosen by coin toss in 1845. Portland was incorporated as a city February 8, 1851. 41 years later, the oldest art museum in the Pacific Northwest, the Portland Art Museum, was founded late 1892. A local citizen, Henry Corbett, gifted $10,000, which is equivalent to $345,130 now. To locals, Winslow B. Ayer and his wife, whose identity is only referenced under the patriarch of her husband's name. The couple looking to purchase for the museum's debut sought advice from the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston and the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, who advised them on what to acquire for the exhibit. They then ventured to Europe, where they purchased approximately 100 plaster casts of Roman sculpture. The sculptures were then brought back to Portland and showcased for the first exhibit at the library on Southwest 7th and Stark Street. The museum eventually outgrew and moved to Southwest 5th and Taylor in 1905, and moved again in 1932 to Southwest Park Avenue and Southwest Jefferson Street, where they built new wings and expanded the building. This exhibit was an important cultural resource for many people. It was said to bring in art groups, school field trips, and large lecture audiences. In 1913, the museum hosted a new exhibit that showcased and introduced modern artists like Cézanne, Van Gogh, Gauguin, Matisse, Manet, and Renoir. This exhibit showcased a painting, Nude Descending a Staircase, by Marcel Duchamp in 1912, which is said to be one of the most controversial paintings of its time. The painting, however, was going to be excluded from this exhibit due to its modern style and the way dynamic movement was captured. But the objection was overturned. The Portland Art Museum was the start of the art scene in Portland. It continued to blossom over the years, not just in the museum. Art has elevated the streets of Portland in the form of murals, sculptures, statues, and more.
Portland is home to a stunning array of exterior murals that stand out as truly remarkable gems amidst a diverse landscape of street art. These murals, rich in history and culture, are generous in size and add a unique vibrancy to the city streets, providing contrast to other forms of street art, such as graffiti. Portland.gov defines original mural art as a hand-produced work of visual art that is tiled or painted by hand directly upon or affixed directly to an exterior wall of a building or structure. The city says that murals can provide many benefits to a city and surrounding communities, like opportunities to share place-based history and community-centered stories. Additionally, projects can actively engage citizens, increase social capital, community connections, and promote positive social change. Portland's criteria for producing original art murals are that they cannot exceed the height of 30 feet and it must be maintained for 2 years by the applicant artist. The murals must meet additional standards if located in a historic or conservation district. Among the feature notable or infamous murals in Portland is the oldest surviving mural painted by the Guerrilla Wall Flare group in 1982. The piece, according to the group of artists, was a semi-anonymous prank, a non-commercial riff on Warhol's cover art for 1967's The Velvet Underground and Nico, which was accepted as fun by the building's owner and left to become a neighborhood landmark. Guerrilla Wall Flare is located on the corner of Southeast 12th and Division Street. Then an office supply company, now home to assorted small businesses, is the canvas to the 20 by 50 foot giant banana inscribed with "Art fills the void." On the upper corner of the image was a protest to the existence of such a boring blank wall. This mural endured years of tagging and weathering and was finally restored the summer of 2015.
The Solterra, created by Finn Dack of London, is located off Division Street on the City Council building to honor the area's cultural heritage and natural beauty. This mural stretches 100 feet long, showing local landmarks and historical figures, plants and animals that show Solterra's story. The Black Pride Malcolm X mural, painted by Lewis Harris in 1984, is located in the Alberta Art District on 17th in Alberta. It features Malcolm, a key leader in the civil rights movement known for promoting Black pride, self-defense, and social justice. The muralist honors X's legacy and the empowering values against racial oppression. On the Black United Front of Portland building stands a mural celebrating prominent figures like Coretta Scott King, Ruby Bridges, Ruby Dee, Angela Davis, and Maya Angelou, who have contributed to racial equality in the USA. This work of art was created by Icho and Jeremy Nicholas in 2015.
Attitude of Gratitude was installed August 2017 in only 12 days by Finn Dac. The image of a woman posing in gratitude has more than 1,000 plants as hair and sits as an advertisement for the Solterra Construction Company. The portrait's intent is to connect people to nature by building innovative, sustainable, and livable buildings in the Pacific Northwest. Located 904 Southeast Division Street, the building of the Attitude of Gratitude mural uses nature-friendly technology such as foam-framed concrete walls which can act as insulation instead of the average wooden frames which can't.
Overall nighttime of the buildings by designer James Jean and painter Dan Cohen is located on 11 Northeast MLK Jr. Boulevard and was completed June of 2017. In an article written by Americans for the Arts, quotes Jean saying, "Their design is meant to evoke notion of growth, adaptability, and interconnectedness. The fictional flowers, a visual hybrid of the rose, the Portland City flower, and the Oregon grape, the Oregon State flower, erupts from the ground and wraps around the thunder eggs at points. Symbolic of the city's relationship with nature, its mindfulness of the environment, and the flourishing activity in the area. On 1930 Northeast Oregon Street is a painting created by Australian artist Thomas Jackson, who specializes in Australian wildlife. The mural depicts two facing beetles with cherry blossom-like flowers growing out of their mandibles, being illuminated by a full moon in the background. The Pamchi mural portrays Cuban culture through music, dance, architecture, and history, aiming to educate and give visibility to the community. It is located on the Ambacha building, resembling central Havana's architecture and an area frequented by Cuban refugees to aid their transition. This piece was created by artists Rachel Olsen and Emily Beeks in 2011. Together We Bloom was a collaborative effort on the behalf of the residents, community members in the Cully district for a newly built apartment on Northeast Killingsworth. The community pushed to have a public installation in the form of a mural to lay above the main entrance of the Las Adelitas building as celebration to the community's strength, diversity, and culture. Artist Michelle Angela Ortez, assisted by Oliver Castellas, interviewed those in the community and produced the work in 2022, inspired by the stories that were shared. Portland is a host for street art, murals, and quirky visuals and its culinary gems. If you ever venture to the Pacific Northwest, you can check out all the city has to offer and its art scene by visiting travelportland.com for a directory.
Thanks for watching the Pick It Up podcast. Stay tuned for next week's interview format episode.
You can also follow us on our social media handles, which are listed in the description box below.
Bye.